But for those that are here and then they're watching online, not charging any, not taking any points off each and everything. So just because it was a little harder than I wanted it to be. And then we'll go over it today, literally line by line, most of it, just kind of help you see how it is. And there was actually somebody that got the key. There was no really like do it this way. I guided you through one way, but that person did force the key, which is it's just fine. But he understood most of the code, so and I don't know if he's gonna talk about it.
So, and then obfuscation.
Just leave the microphone.
There we go. So what is it? Basically, obfuscation, it can obfuscate the flow of the program. The exceptions, it can encrypt the strings. Basically what it does is it has its own, depending on what kind of obfuscator you use, the one that we're going to be using is called the Vieth class master. There's also one called aleatory. It's a little harder to use. This one gives you a nice GUI interface that lets you edit all the things, set all the options that you want. It also trims the application for you. For example, if there's a class or a function that you're not using, it'll trim that out of there, and so it makes it kind of more concise. And then it obfuscates. You can randomize all the functions in the way that they're ordered. You can keep inter-class information in there, or it'll take it out for you. The local variable tables, if you delete that. So this is basically measures to kind of tackle reverse engineering, and we'll actually go through obfuscating one of the jars that we have. I'm not going to walk you through that, and then you'll see what it does to it, and you'll kind of be able to get a grasp of how difficult it makes it to kind of reverse. But this is only this really only works. So this is kind of security by obscurity. So when you have really good reverse engineers, this really doesn't stop them, because they can go through the bytecode and just read that and be able to understand what's going on in the program. But when you have like kind of, I guess, like noobs like us, then when you can't read the decompiled code, then it kind of makes it tough, to be able to understand what the application is doing. All right, and this leads us to our demo. So if you guys which one of you guys are gonna be doing this with me, just for like a show of hands?
Oh, you guys
Oh, you guys in the links? Okay. I'll go ahead. Actually, if there's those of you that want to have their own license of the Vieth class master, it gives you free 30 days if you use your default email. So if you want to get that, I provided my own in the upper link here, but if you guys want to have your own, if you want to play around with it later, go ahead and do it.
What are we downloading from the bytecode here?
Just download the entire.
There's a link there to download the executable.
Yeah.
You need internet access to download the rest of the initialize it. So when you first download it, it goes out and tries to get more stuff. Should have posted this tomorrow. You should have posted it tomorrow.
It's slow.
No, it's just like remember to click download on.
So I just downloaded the zip. I don't know if it did help.
I'm talking about the
Got it?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you wait. Yeah, so you have to wait the 6 seconds or whatever, and then you generate the link. Download. Okay, so you can download 5 times. Yes, have it.
This baboon thing?
Right?
This live radio station thing? Is that what I mean?
Yeah, speaker. There's a bunch of click acts.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
I have ad blockers, so I don't see that.
Yeah, let me finish.
Oh, yeah. sorry about that. Yeah, I don't even notice it. Watch that. So that you get free file upload services.
No, I mean, I keep getting blocked by, so I go through VPN, so it keeps getting blocked. Yeah.
Anybody know any file upload sites? Does anybody know any file upload sites that are pretty handy? I could upload to, so I should quickly get it. Or...
Can you just put up an FTP real quick on file go?
Just put it on a Dropbox, you should have them.
Yeah, that works too. Or Google Drive, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If it doesn't like you, it's alright. You can share it later.
Put
it in Dropbox or something.
Yeah, it's not, it's uploading to Drive, so.
Then from the GitHub one, what do you download? The second?
Both of them.
Yeah, the second one you download everything.
Let's see.
So kind of,
Interesting. Yeah. They want to know, just don't want to. It's actually open source, so if there's extra functionality that you want to add to it. There's a previous version of this that doesn't have a search function in the code. Once you're looking at bigger files, then it has to find things. Okay.
That's going to be hard to type in.
So I put the shareable link in there. So if you go,
Make it a tiny URL or something.
well, no, so actually, if you go to notepad.cc/java%,
Oh,
you'll be
yeah.
able to click on those links. I probably should have said that, actually.
Everyone else.
So it works.
yeah, so
Google Drive.
Is it? All right, which one of you guys have it all downloaded? You do?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
You can go. Yeah. I mean,
I can just go.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so for those of you who have it downloaded, go to the flags, test one, and then hit the run.bat, and it tells you, hey, try to find the flag in the jar. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to the bytecode viewer, open the jar, drag the jar in there, and take a look at the. All right. So as you can see the string here, and it tells you the flag, right? It's not obfuscated, and this is just compiled right away. But our goal here is we want the main function to print out when we're running the actual jar. So let's say that our app is checking for whether the user is premium, and we check for a username and check for the database, and we want it to return this string instead of that string. Then we could go in there and edit it and make it pop it out. So like I said, I could figure out how to do like bytecode editor to make it editable. So we'll go ahead and open it in the bytecode editor. All right, so here you can see the constants pool. So this is everything that's inside the program. Where we edit the bytecode is actually in the methods. So here we can see the initialized code, and this is our first string. Let's see right here. So this is LDC in bytecode means push this string to this value, and then this is so we want the main function to return the other string. So basically what we do is we go in here, we take this here, and we basically just replace it, and then hit save method, and then it'll print out the other string for us. But this actually has trouble editing it straight to the jar, so what we're going to want to do is, I forgot to mention, if you guys don't have WinRAR installed, you're going to need to install that, or something that basically will unpack the jar for us. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And then we want to load the class directly into the bytecode editor. Otherwise, when we hit save, so if we change this, it's not going to be able to save it for us. It says that the system can't find the path specified. Open and load editor so I can get the string name. All right, save saves the class file for us. And now we change directory to the test here. going to do is we're going to run the class file. So run test one.
So you don't pack it up again to the jar file?
No, because it changed it right away. So that puts the flag for us. So outputs the flag that I want for the application. So let's say, so now let's go through and obfuscate this test and see what it does to the bytecode. And so we'll actually look at it in the bytecode view. We'll see what it does to the actual application and bytecode. So we're going to want to open up the obfuscator on the jar. Set the license. So okay. I'm going to go to tools, obfuscate. So you can specify what kind of application type it is here. So this is a self-contained application because it's a jar. You can exclude packages. So let's say we have extra packages like test 2, test 3, we could exclude those from obfuscation. This can also change the main class name. We don't want to do that for this example, but this just shows you the different options it gives you when you're obfuscating to make it harder for somebody to reverse your application. And so the thing we're going to want to do is we're going to just basically encrypt the string. We could also do flow and other things like that. So actually we'll do that just for the sake of example. So we'll do normal. So there's no exceptions, so it doesn't matter. Randomize it. It'll rename the methods for us. We'll keep the inner class information. So we'll get rid of the variable table and numbers. And if there are references to other jars, we could also obfuscate the references. That's it. And there it is. So actually, it shows us a preview here of what it did. So yeah, let's look at this. Oh, forgot to save it. One sec. Okay. Now we can open the class. So it renamed our test1.class to a.class. And then let's take a look at it. All right, so you see here that it renamed everything. And even when you look at the strings, you can't really understand what it's saying or anything like that. So this is where if you were to just open it and decompile it, you wouldn't be able to get the flag that way. So when you obfuscate, it makes it like really tough for you to be able to tell, like I was saying, just by reading the code, what it does. So then this is where we turn to editing the bytecode to get the flag that we want. So now we can open this in the bytecode editor, and we'll do the exact same thing. We'll just change it to output the other string, which the actually string name is going to be renamed as well. So if we were to throw in a bunch of string names, that would make it even harder to find the flag. But I just put 2, so we'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly. So now we have methods A, B, C. In the main, we can see that it prints out AB. So it prints out this string right here. And what we want to do is we're going to want to change it to AC. And print out our flag for us. Save the method. And then we're going to want to CD back into this, which changes the directory. Yeah. And we're going to run the data class. And there's our flag. So when it runs, Java will automatically deobfuscate it for us and print out the deobfuscated string. And that's, so this is kind of how you go about reversing a program. So now let's go to our second test case. And this one is already obfuscated. So we're going to run the test. So as the login has failed, please try again. Why don't we take a look at what that looks like in the bytecode editor. Review. All right, so we got a main function. If A, system out something, and then else, we're going to print out A.C. So this is where, so if A, so A is our boolean here, it returns false. So it goes straight to this. So this is what we're seeing when we run test 2. So since the boolean A is false, it's printing out login has failed, please try again. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to change boolean A to true so we can get the flag from this example. So why don't we go ahead and look at this boolean in the bytecode and edit that so we can get the flag. Once again, we're going to want to extract the image of this into the, because we want to get the class, otherwise it won't edit it for us. So now A is our boolean method. And so iConstant 0, this in bytecode means false. So what we're going to want to do is return to true. So that's iConstant 1. Save the method. And then we'll go ahead and run that and get the flag. It is. So if you want to actually look at what all this means in bytecode, you can look, you can Google it. So just look up. forget exactly which site I use, but you could Google around and it'll tell you exactly what all in the bytecode means on the static, get static. So this is getting the static string that we have I constant 1, so that's loading the boolean, and this is printing out the string, so on and so forth. So I have we're out of time, but if you guys want, you could try the challenge one. So when you run it, it says you attempt to log in with user. So user is probably a string that's hidden somewhere in the file, and you're going to want to change that to admin. And then once you change that to admin, you run it, it'll spit out the flag for you. So if you guys want to have like 5 or 10 minutes to do that, then go ahead, or just finish up.
I don't know, is anybody trying to tell? Yeah.
Or I can just walk through the challenge.
Yeah, walk through the
That's also another option.
Just go ahead and do it. I mean, if they watch it over the video, they can pause it and then
Sure. Yeah.
try their own and
That
then
works.
walk through the challenge with you.
All right, so it says the attempt to log in with user. So we're going to go ahead and open this in the, well, let's go ahead and open it in the viewer and see what it is.
Instead of A, you just
Well, yeah, basically, but it's going to be, it's going to spit out the obfuscated string, right? So you're going to just want to do a little, it's just really knowing bytecode and how it works. And you could just basically write LDC admin and it'll log in. So I'll go ahead and show you how to do that. All right, so this is our string A. This is the username field, and this is what it's returning right now, is that we failed. And what we want it to return is inside here. So A, it's comparing the username to C3, which is our string here. And I haven't tried this challenge, so I'm gonna have to really looking around, find out where it is. But actually, why don't we just look at it in the editor? I should go on the whereas functions. So let me take a look. I'll just show you guys what I wrote and try and compare it and figure it out. So actually, so this challenge one I wrote up like last minute in case we had extra time. And I didn't actually try and solve it. So this is it. So if username equals admin, then it'll return the flag. So we're trying to change here is this return string. I don't see it.
Should look at you. You should look at.
Yeah. Actually, another way you could do is this allows you to create a string that's called admin and then load it in the main function instead of that string.
That's because you know it's that.
Yes, that's because I know what I want to be, what I want to pass. But yes, as you can see, once you get obfuscated code, it's really hard to reverse it. So you really have to be experienced, you know, what you're looking at to be able to compile. So obfuscation is a way to protect. I mean, so NIST said that it isn't a valid way of protecting your application from reversing. It says that you should follow the secure development lifecycle and then have secure code in the first place. And obfuscation is just an added. It's not really. It doesn't even say it's an added layer. It's just like an optional thing you can do to your code to kind of protect it from reversing. But as you can see, for us, it makes it really difficult to read. So it's good enough for protecting it from, like, obviously the general public and most people who are kind of novices into reversing by code. So yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any questions about anything.
So when you're changing stuff, that's not altering the underlying class files, right? It's just the bytecode,
No.
the bytecode that gets compiled down
Yes.
after the class.
Yeah. So you're literally just editing the bytecode directly.
Like pretty much at runtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if you have any further questions, you could go and talk to me or email me. I'll let you know. Yeah, mine. I don't know how to do this actually,
What's a good program that you run into that you haven't been able to, I guess, make it do what you want to do?
Well, so for example, I would say personally, like there's product lines that you have that have like premium services, and the way they check that is premium is actually through, you know, checking your username and system database and it returns true or false. I haven't found, so it's actually really hard to find those functions once they're obfuscated because most of those bot clients are actually obfuscated, so it makes it hard for you to reverse it and to kind of, so that's actually a mechanism to stop gold farmers from taking the application and just basically running a massive amount of accounts. That also cuts into their profits. So obfuscation is something that they use actually on their applications, and I would recommend it if you're planning on releasing an application. Actually, Android. So I don't know what exactly it runs now, but it used to run on Java, so you can do the exact same for Android applications.
They'll talk about Android. I mean, yeah, Android.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Similar code, but yeah. That's another question I forgot. Why do I always ask questions? Never ask any question.
So yeah.
Oh, the type of obfuscator. You see that they use the same one. Or do you see multiple different ones?
So this is actually a pretty common one because you can get this one for free, right? So actually, if you have your own,
and there's no the obfuscators for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, in this,
I have a Google just basically put the jar inside of the deobfuscator and it detects what way it obfuscated for.
yeah. So that's the whole thing with the. So basically, it works kind of like, you know, public keys and private keys. So if you have the private key for the string obfuscated, then you can deobfuscate it, right? So Zelix has probably their own, you know, set of keys that they use, and if you get those, yes, you can deobfuscate it. So like, for example, the bytecode viewer has a plugin, so the ZKM string decryptor, but it's a plain feature, right? So it's something that they'd like to have, that they can have. Because I mean, that would be really difficult to make. I mean, if I was to be working on a project like that, I probably wouldn't release it for free either, because that's a pretty lucrative application to design. So yeah, and same thing. So Z-string, I've never heard of that one, but aleatory is another one that I mentioned. That one actually makes you go through the steps one by one instead of putting it all into a nice GUI like Zelix. So that's the free version. If you get, I don't know about the enterprise version because it's like a couple hundred, which I didn't really want to dish out because why? Zelix does the job well enough, so just use that one. But yeah. And actually, so I didn't add any like complicated Java examples like arrays and stuff, but if you have an array of, let's say, IPs that you want to connect to, like for example, in RuneScape, you have different worlds, and you wanted to change that IP to like localhost, and you wanted to see what it's trying to communicate with, and you can kind of do it that way, and then build your own server around a client. So that way you can kind of take it and make it your own. But and so that would work for any application, right? Like for Snapchat, you can make it, it's like connect to their servers, make it your own. So you like store all the videos, whatever. But so there's a lot of different things you could do with with Java reversing once you take that. But so yeah. So yeah, this is kind of like another kind of malware analysis, which I don't want to talk about at the fall, which I kind of wish they could, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Not time for that.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, there's a huge uptake on Java Rex right now. Then there's one that just came out. It's like it's cross-platform Java that obviously runs. It affects everything, Windows, Mac, and then and yeah, reversing Java applications is a pain. Yeah.
Yes.
Because especially when the obfuscated. But
yeah, I can see that.
But I guess to kind of, and this kind of goes into the class, but so say we were presented with a sample that you want to analyze it and figure out what it's doing. Obviously you kind of have, again, keeping the goal in mind, you're reversing. I guess Michael his goal was to get the key, and if that's what we're going to do, then we have to look at code. But at the point of, let's say it was malware, we just kind of want to know what it's doing, so we can just let it run and get all the information out as far as C2s, what is it doing with files there, so don't get caught up in reversing the actual Java application unless that's your goal. In this case, Michael's goal was to get the key, which you have to look at the code. But just if you're confronted with it at work or whatever, always have a goal in how you're going to tackle the Java reversing, so just reversing in general. So.